What's good with your fam? Check this audio real quick, man. Make sure everything's copacetic. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Check. Hold up. I ain't hearing nothing. Check. There we go. Hold up. I ain't hearing nothing. Check. There we go. Hold up. I ain't hearing nothing. All right, I think we ready, man. I think we ready to rock. You know, what's good with your fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talk nothing. I mean nothing but this boxing, man. What's going on with you, man? Decided to jump on here, man, and do a little live stream, man. You know, there's some things going on in the news, things going on in the boxing world that I want to address. You know what I'm saying? I want to address. I want to talk about. You know, you got the WBC. They have made known that they will be meeting with Mikey Garcia next week to discuss whether or not he's going to vacate the 135-pound title, or will he come back down and fight? You know what I'm saying? Since the Earl Spence fight, no one has seen Mikey Garcia. He is going dark, you know, and a lot of people are wondering what's going on with him, man. I know Mikey Garcia is used to winning. You know, he's used to having his hand raised at the end of the fight. You know what I mean? And losing his first fight after 40 professional fights, man, it's got to be hard. You know, it's got to be a major blow to his confidence, got to be a major blow to his ego. Especially since, you know, Mikey Garcia was so sure of himself. He was so sure that he would win this fight. You know what I mean? And things didn't go his way, man. And and I think that he's feeling the effects of it. You know, having lost for the first time on the biggest stage of his life, the biggest opportunity of his life. You know what I'm saying? I think like any normal human being, Mikey Garcia is definitely feeling the effects of it. You know what I mean? So, he has gone dark. No one has seen him. No one has heard from him. But the WBC, they have kind of forced his hand. He will have to come out and have to meet with them next week to discuss, to discuss the matter. Will he come back down to 135? Will he go to 140? Or will he stay up there with the big dogs at 147? Me personally, I think Mikey Garcia is I think he's gonna go to 140. I think 140 is probably the best weight class for him right now. You know what I'm saying? 135 is probably a little too small from him. Hector Martin, what's good with your fam? Yeah, 140. That's what I'm thinking too, man. After going up to 147, coming in the ring, to fight Earl Spence, what was he, 153 on fight night? You know what I mean? Just putting your body through that type of pressure, that type of thing, going back down to 135, I don't think it'll be good, man. What's good with your fam? I think, he'll probably be best at 140, but the world is clamoring to see Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko, man. And for selfish reasons, I would love for him to go back down to 135, man, just for that fight. Lomachenko's been kind of dragging his name through the mud. You know what I mean? All through social media, through videos, through everywhere that they put a microphone or a camera in Lomachenko's face, man. Lomachenko is taking Mikey Garcia. He's taking him by the legs, man. He's wrapping his chains, the chain around his legs. He's hooking it up to his pickup truck, and he's driving through some asphalt. You know what I mean? He's dragging Mikey Garcia's, man, face first through the gravel, man. You know what I mean? He's talking about him bad, man, and Mikey Garcia is gonna have to address him, man. He's gonna have to address him. Um, and what better way to address him than to address him inside the ring? I think he need to put his differences with Bob Ram to the side. You know what I mean? I think he need to bite his pride. You know what I mean? And go head over to Top Rank and make some type of arrangements with Bob Arum and make that fight. You know what I'm saying? It's the fight he should have made before the Spence fight anyway. That's the fight he should have took. You know what I mean? While he had the IBF and the WBC titles, and Lomachenko, the WBA and WBO, it could have been for everything, man. Could have been for the whole the whole shebang, undisputed. You know what I mean? Now you got Richard Comey out there in the mix, man. You know what I mean? But I think the fight with Lomachenko is still a good fight. It's still a really good fight, man. I don't think he can make it either, Hector Martin, but something in me is hoping that he could. Something in me is hoping that he would, just to see that fight, man. You know, just to just to get him in the ring, man. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Lomachenko and Mikey Garcia get it on, man, because I think they are the two best at 135, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's a better fight out there that can be made at 135. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, hopefully we can get that fight made. You know what I mean? But I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? But my heart says I want to see it. Donald Minifield with the super chat. What's good with your fam? He say, what's good with you? Hey man, hey Donald Minifield, let me tell you something, man. You are my first official super chat, man, and I like to thank you for that, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put that up on my digital wall. I'm gonna put it in the frame, man, and I'm gonna always remember my first official super chat come from Donald Minifield. Hey man, I appreciate you, fam. Good looking on that there, man. But Mikey Garcia more than likely he's going to vacate. You know what I'm saying? He's going to vacate that title. But part of me is unsure of that, because if you think about it, it have been vacated then. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't have some intention of maybe coming back down to 135. He even said it after the fight with Spence. He said it's a possibility that he come back down to 135 or 140. He haven't made up his mind yet, man. So hopefully, the only reason that he will come back down to 135 is for Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes. Other than that, what else are you doing? But I think the best work for Mikey Garcia will be at 140. I think besides Lomachenko, I think, well, even with Lomachenko, I think Mikey Garcia smokes all them dudes down there at 135, man. I think he's too strong and too powerful for them dudes down there, man. And Lomachenko, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Mikey in that fight. I would say 55 to 45, something like that, man. But Lomachenko's a bad dude. Lomachenko's a bad dude, so I would not count him out, man. But I don't know, man. I don't know what he's gonna do, man. But 140 will be a really good weight for him, man. You got, Regis Prograis, you got Josh Taylor, you got Baranchik, you got Relic. You know what I'm saying? You got some really good dudes up there at 140. You know what I'm saying? And if he does vacate at 135, then Lomachenko got, he got free reign almost to undisputed. You know what I'm saying? He posed to meet Richard Comey. Richard Comey won't be a walk in the park for Lomachenko just because of his size, you know what I'm saying? But I do think Lomachenko wins that fight. I do think he'll outbox Richard Comey. You know what I mean? Lomachenko's the truth. Lomachenko's the real deal, man. But you know what has been evident in his last couple fights is that 135 is is more challenging than 130. You know, what I mean, you can see the way those dudes handle him. He's a little bit he's a little bit small for 135. You understand what I'm saying? I think his best weight is 130, maybe even 126. You know what I'm saying? But he could not find the proper competition down there, man. So he had to challenge himself and move up to 135. You know what I mean? You seen him when he fought um Linares. You know what I mean? You could see the size difference played a big part in that fight. But credit to Loma, he did what he had to do. My man Hector Martin says Loma is for real. You got that right, man. He's the real deal. Tank versus Loma, man. Hector Martin, you know how I feel about Tank, man. You know Tank is my guy. You know what I'm saying? I think Tank smokes Lomachenko. I think Tank smokes anything around 130, 135. I think Tank goes in there and smokes him, man. I'm a little biased when it comes to Tank, man. I like Tank. I think Tank is an extraordinary, rare talent that has yet been able to prove it. You know what I mean? He ain't been able to show it. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it's coming, man. Um, I think he's gonna be able to show it this year, man. If not this year, sometime next year. You know what I mean? It's time for him to step up, man. It's time for him to face someone who we don't know they're gonna win. He gonna win. You know what I mean? And that's the only way that a fighter can be great is when he fight a fight that people don't know who's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? And then you go in there and you do what you got to do. You win that fight. You know what I mean? But Tank's the real deal, man. Supposedly he got a fight coming up in uh, July, June or July. I think it's July down in Baltimore in his hometown, man. Hopefully that's somebody who would give him a little challenge, man. Because I ain't trying to ride down there to Baltimore to see Tank go ahead and stop someone in 1 or 2 rounds, man. You know, uh, it might be at the Royal Farms Arena down there. It's a pretty decent size, you know what I mean? Being that it's his hometown, I think he can get a good crowd in there. Now, Tank versus Teofimo, Hector, that would be a really good matchup, man. That'll be a really good matchup, man. Both dudes is young, both is hungry, and wow, I forgot about Tiafimo, man. That'll be a real good fight, man. That'll be a really good fight. Tank needs tougher opposition. I agree with that, Hector Martin. He definitely needs tougher opposition, man. But you know what? Let me switch gears real quick, man. I want to talk about Amir Khan and Terrence Crawford, man. I've been watching a lot of video footage of Amir Khan, man. And let me tell you, man, I have come to admire and I've come to respect and like Amir Khan. You understand what I'm saying? The news that was put out the couple days ago that where Amir Khan was made to look like he was talking about Terrence Crawford, talking about his resume, you know what I mean, saying that, if he fought those guys, that he'll be undefeated and, what I mean, things like that, man. Amir Khan ain't even say it like that. You know what I mean? The media blew it up, you know what I mean, to out of proportion, man. The way Amir Khan was talking, he was talking real respectful. He was talking real humble. You know what I mean? He was just, talking about the resumes and what he was saying, what was true. You know what I mean? Amir Khan has fought the better competition than Terrence Crawford. That's a fact. No doubt about it, man. Amir Khan has beaten some really good fighters, man, when they were really good. You know what I mean? When Devin Alexander was on top of his game, Amir Khan beat him. When Zab Judah was on top of his game, Amir Khan beat him. Marcos Madonna, before he fought Mayweather, you know what I mean? Amir Khan beat him. You know what I mean? Amir Khan been in there with some tough dudes, man, and he was able to get him out of there, man. Not just beat him, but he made it look easy. You understand what I'm saying? He made it look easy. And I respect Amir Khan just from watching these documentaries and watching his attitude and his humbleness. Amir Khan is a very, very humble guy. He's on his GMB, as I like to say, that grown man business. And he's the type of dude that, I can relate to. Yeah, he's definitely past his prime, man. But I think Amir Khan will rise to the occasion, because he knows what's at stake, man. He knows that Terrence Crawford is the real deal. He knows that, should he lose to Terrence Crawford, he more than likely will never get an opportunity like this again in his life, being that he's at this stage in his career, man. And, for that reason, man, I think that, excuse me, I think that he goes in there and really puts on the performance of his life. You know what I'm saying? The thing I didn't like about watching the footage on American is that he made excuses of his performance with Sammy Vargas in his last fight, saying that it's because he was with Goosen. You know what I mean? He says there wasn't no problem with Goosen, but him being separated from Virgil Hunter, you get used to that trainer's voice in the corner. You get used to having things a certain way. You know what I mean? He just said things were different for that camp, and he tried to blame it on the camp. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that was the case, man. But Amir Khan, you know what I mean? He makes you want to root for him. You know what I mean? Makes you want to root for him. He just seems like such a nice dude, man. Such a humble dude. You know what I mean? And he makes you want to root for him, man. Like myself, you know what I mean? I hang around dudes who are humble and knows how to beat himself, man. They ain't got to put on no front for nobody. They the same person every day. You know what I mean? Not the dude that put on the front when the whole crowd come around, he turned to somebody else and all that. Nah, I like dudes that be the same way every day, all day, no matter who's around. They're secure with their manhood. They're secure with their self, no matter who's around. You know what I mean? They don't care what nobody think because they so sure they sure of themselves. And Amir Khan strikes me as that type of guy, man. And although I really think Terrence Crawford gonna win this fight, something in me wants to root for Amir Khan. You know what I mean? Just seems like a real good guy, man. But all that being said, man, Terrence Crawford going to I think Terrence Crawford gonna win this fight. I think it's going to be a tough fight in the beginning. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time for Terrence Crawford to figure Amir Khan out, sort of like he was with Benavidez. But Amir Khan is much more talented than Benavidez. Although Crawford dominated Benavidez, those rounds in the early rounds were very close. You know what I mean? Crawford won them, but they were very close. Now, Amir Khan is, much more experienced than Benavidez. His boxing ability is much greater than Benavidez, and he's faster. I think he hits harder. And he's going to present a lot of problems to Terrence Crawford early on, man. That Terrence Crawford's going to have to make some adjustments. You know, um, and Amir Khan is undefeated at welterweight. He's undefeated facing southpaws. You know what I mean? So maybe Terrence Crawford comes out in the orthodox stance. I watched the interview. I watched some footage of him this week also, where he had said that. He said that he might come out orthodox. You never know which stance he's going to fight in. You understand what I'm saying? And we'll see, man. We'll see, man. But I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to that whole card, man. That whole card is funky, man. You got Teofimo on there. You got Shakur Stevenson on there. You got what's the dude's name? Ferrero on there. That card is gonna be lit, man, from top to bottom, man. And let's talk about Shakur Stevenson right now. There's been the footage came out. I'm sure everybody's seen the footage of Shakur and his homie in the parking lot. For those of you who don't know, this incident happened last summer when Shakur turned 21. It was 21st birthday. They was out and about. They was said that I guess the dude that Shakur was with said something to one of them broads that the dude was with in the parking lot. Some words were exchanged, man, and it got physical. You know what I mean? The video looked bad. I ain't gonna lie, the video looked bad, man. The dude Shakur was with, man. I watched that a couple times. That was a chick that he was whooping on, man. And Girly, Girly was hanging with him a little bit, man. You know what I mean? Girly was giving him a little trouble, man, with them with that grappling game, with that wrestling game. I forget dude's name he was with, but from what I understand, he's a professional boxer too. You know what I mean? But from what I seen, Shakur he didn't put his hands on the female, but he did, knuckle dude up a couple times. Dude was on the ground. I seen Shakur, catching with a couple hooks, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think the kids should be condemned for that, man. Did it look bad? Yeah. You know what I mean? Am I condoning what he did? No. But you got to look at it like this, man. We all was young before. You understand what I'm saying? We all did things that we weren't proud of, especially at 2021, man. But back when we was younger, at least when I was younger, there was no cell phone footage to catch it. There was no social media to post it. So, it wasn't put in the public eye of the stupid shit that may have been done when we was younger. You know what I mean? It just so happened that Shakur and his homie, they living in a time where social media and cell phones is the thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to be aware of that. You got to be aware of your surroundings. You got to be aware of your environment. You got to be aware of the situation that you're getting yourself into, man. And he was some guys who got a good head on their shoulders. He's with Andre Ward and Jay Prince. I think they both co-manage him, man. So both of those guys are real level-headed dudes and very successful. You know what I mean? I think they'll be able to guide Shakur in a positive light in the future, man. But the kid is young, man. You know what I'm saying? He going to make mistakes. He going to have some bumps and bruises along the way. And we cannot condemn him for that. You know what I'm saying? We all make mistakes. 21 years old, he going to make some more mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that they're not, detrimental to his career, man, because the kid is a very, very special talent, man. I believe Shakur Stevenson, he's going to be a very big star in the sport of boxing, man. You know what I mean? He went to the Olympics. He was, he did well in the Olympics, man. He's doing well in the pros. I think top rank, and Jay Prince and Andre Ward, they're guiding his career at the pace that he needs to go. You know what I mean? Not too fast, but not too slow. You know what I mean? He's stepping up slowly. You know what I mean? Stepping up his competition every single fight. His next fight on April 20th is going to be, the toughest test as far as I'm concerned, the toughest test. What mistake did he do? Hector Martin says, "Oh, you ain't heard about it, man." Well, it was a year old. It happened a year ago, man. Him and some guy was in a parking garage. You know what I'm saying? It was his 21st birthday. They was out. Guess they was partying or whatever. You come from the club or whatever. You go into the parking garage. You got your sauce on. You're going back to your car. You see some beautiful women. You say something to them, man. The dude with them don't like what you said to him. He say something back. Words are exchanged, and it turned into an altercation, a violent altercation, man. And Shakur was arrested. The dude was arrested. There's video of the incident. The dude that was with Shakur was whooping on a chick, man. I did not see Shakur put his hands on a female, but I did see him knuckle dude up a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Dude laying on the ground, balled up in the fetal position like a cur dog. And Shakur, caught him with a couple hooks. You know, understand what I'm saying? Big Ray, what's good with your fam? Can't get over Mikey losing. Had me convinced. Man, hey man, listen. I talked about that at the beginning, man, but we can always go back. We ain't got nothing but time. You understand? Mikey Garcia, he talked a real good game, man. I didn't think he was going to win the fight. You know what I'm saying? I never thought he was going to win the fight, but I thought that he would make it very competitive, man. I thought he would make it very challenging early on. You know what I'm saying? I thought, he would come out and, especially in those first couple rounds, I thought he would catch Spence with some eye catching hollering and none of that happened, man. But he was so sure of himself, man. That he convinced me and he convinced a lot of other people that, he was going to be in there ready to rumble with Spence, that he was going to be in there, he was going to be in this fight, man. He was so sure of himself. You understand what I'm saying? He was so convinced. He had a lot of people convinced that he would win. He had a lot of more people convinced that he would give Spence a run for his money, and none of that happened, man. You know what I'm saying? Vaughn Empire Power, what's good with your fam? He said fraud or confident or salesman Mikey. Yeah, man. Lee Rux, what's good with your fam? Shout out to Lee Rux, man. I appreciate you in the super chat, man. I appreciate you, man. You are the second person to officially, post a super chat to the channel, man. And I really appreciate it. I'm gonna put that on my digital wall, man, and frame that up, man. You know, understand what I'm saying? I really appreciate that, fam. You know what I mean? Big Ray says, got me working overtime in the hole. God damn, man. You put some money down on him. You lost some money on Mikey. Man, yeah, god damn, man. I ain't bet no money, man. But damn, Big Ray said he bet that money on Mikey. Woo wee. Like I said, I ain't think he was gonna win the fight, but I thought that he would be in the fight, man. He wasn't in the fight at all, man. He got dominated. You know what I mean? He got dominated, man. Every single round. If there was one round that I could be sympathetic, that I could, if I just wanted to give Mikey a round, it would be the second round. You understand what I'm saying? That second round, I thought he was a little bit busier. You know what I'm saying? Spence he ain't catching with too many shots by that time where Mikey confidence was broken. You know what I'm saying? He was still trying at that time, man. Um, Hector Martin says, yes, Mikey didn't fight. He didn't, man. He didn't, man. I think he felt Spence's power. He felt Spence's pressure. And he just didn't want to let his hands go because he was worried about what was coming back. Straight cold. What's good with your fam? He says, Mikey charged me $1 a punch. Hashtag feels bad, man. I feel you, man. I feel you, man. And the thing about it is, if I know most of you in here are familiar with my channel, is that I was, how many videos I made bigging Mikey up, praising Mikey, man, because I respect Mikey, even though he got dominated and he lost the fight, man. I respect him, man, because he stepped up to the plate, man. You understand what I'm saying? And he was confident and he wanted this fight. Nobody in the welterweight division wanted to take this fight, but Mikey put his hands up and said, you know what? I'll take it. Danny Garcia didn't want it. Sean Porter didn't want it. Keith Thurman definitely didn't want it. Terrence Crawford was across the street, you know what I'm saying, chilling over there, just watching, you know what I'm saying? And Mikey Garcia said, you know what? I'll take that work, man. So I respected him about that. And that's why, I was making video after video about how courageous I thought Mikey was, how good the fight I thought it was going to be. And it turned out to not to be what I thought, man. Lee Rux, my man, says Shakur need to understand people ain't fighting anymore. At times, that they get is death. Hey, you ain't lying, fam. It could have been easily. It could have been easily went bad that night. You know what I'm saying? That parking garage, I've seen it so many times. I'm sure you have too, man. Where you know, guys think they in the fight. You know what I'm saying? They go off and steal off on the dude or whatever, and they pull out a gun and bang, it's over with. You understand what I'm saying? I had a partner, man. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was a good dude. He was a big dude. He worked out and he worked out and everything, man. And you know, he said something to a brother's girl, man. And the dude was like, "Yo, that's my girl." We was coming from a club, same situation that Shakur was in. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody leaving out the club or whatever, going to their cars. You know what I'm saying? So he said something to dude's girl. He seen dude with him. He seen dude with the broad. He knew that it was his broad, but he said something to her anyway. So dude, being a man, what I mean, he got to defend him. He got to step. He can't go out like no sucker. So he said something to him. He said, "Yo, man, be cool. That's my woman." So my man, well, he wasn't my man, but he was an acquaintance. He's drunk, he gets all rah-rah, keep running up on dude, like, go ahead, man, go ahead. The acquaintance I'm referring to was a big dude, muscle bound dude. He got the pointing in his head, boom, boom, hitting his head with his finger, boom, boom. Man, dude pulled out a gun, shot him, you know, um, paralyzed him from the neck down. You understand what I'm saying? And he lived that way for about 10, 15 years, man, until, he recently passed a couple years ago, man. God bless the dead, man. But yeah, man, you can't just be rolling up on dudes, man, and swinging on them, especially in today's time, man, because dudes, they playing for keeps out there. They playing for keeps, Nature Peeps, what's up with your fam? It's my little cuz, man. Go subscribe to Nature Peeps. He ain't talk about boxing, man. He's just my little cousin, a young kid, man, on YouTube, just grinding like everybody else, man. Hector Morton says, not worth it, walk away. You ain't lying, man. But when alcohol comes into play, man, you know, anything can happen, man. When you drunk, you get them bear muscles, like they call it. They ain't called bear muscles for nothing. When you drinking, you fear nothing. You understand what I'm saying? You think you on top of the world, and you carry it accordingly, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll rumble a crowd of dudes. You understand what I'm saying? You'll walk up on a dude with a gun thinking you can wrestle it out his hand. You understand what I'm saying? Alcohol, man, it ain't no good. You know, when you're in them type of situations. You know what I'm saying? Rod Ramon says Mikey should go after the 140-pound champs. That's what I was just talking about before you came on here, man. Mikey needs to vacate that 135 title. My man Juan and Power number one with the super chat. Hey, brother, man, appreciate that super chat. You are my third super chat ever, brother. And I really appreciate it, man. I'm gonna put you up on the wall, on my digital wall, man, and I'm gonna frame it up in there forever. You understand what I'm saying? I really appreciate that, fam. Straight Cold says 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Yeah, that's how you feel, man. That's how you feel when you drinking that liquor, man. You understand what I'm saying? I know back when I was younger, I put myself in a lot of different situations that was uncomfortable, but I was fortunate to walk away from, because of that liquor, man. Nowadays I really don't drink. You know, understand what I'm saying? I haven't been intoxicated in years. You know what I mean? I might have a beer or something or drink or something on a special occasion every now and then. But as far as being intoxicated and drunk, I haven't been that way in years, man. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, man. Especially coming out them clubs. Look at the dude, Nipsey Hussle. You understand what I'm saying? God bless the dead, man. Nipsey Hussle. From what I understand, I really didn't wasn't too familiar with his music. You understand what I'm saying? But from what I'm hearing, I'm seeing all the outpour of love that he had. I'm hearing all the positive things that he was doing in the community, man. But that goes to show you, man, that you put yourself in areas that sometimes you shouldn't be in. You understand what I'm saying? When you reach a certain status, man, sometimes you got to separate yourself from certain situations in certain areas, man. Even though you may be doing the right thing, even though your mindset is on a positive trail. You know what I mean? You're trying to do the right thing. People around you know you're trying to do the right thing, man. But there's people around you who are jealous, man, who are envious, man, and want to do you harm. From what I understand, it was a friend of his, man. I seen several photos with the dude and pictures with him, man. So he was some type of acquaintance with him. You know what I'm saying? He knew him. He obviously felt comfortable around him. You know, I'm not sure on the particulars of the situation, man, but he probably didn't see it coming. You know what I mean? Probably didn't see it coming, man. And that's the sad part about it, man. You know what I mean? You bring guys around you, you hang around guys that you think you're safe with, you get comfortable with, you know what I mean? But the whole time they watching you, they plotting, they envious of you. And the moment your guard down, they trying to rob you or they trying to kill you, man. And you got to be on the lookout for that, man. You got to be able to separate yourself from those situations, man, so you don't get caught up in those situations, man. And I've experienced things like that firsthand, man, where people, I mean, you thought were cool with you, that you know you hung out with, you broke bread with, you spent a lot of time with. You may have been over their house, they may have been over your house, and the whole time, man, they in the streets biting your back out, man, plotting on you. Jealousy is a very, very dangerous thing, man. It's a very dangerous thing. The street is a very dangerous game, man. And whether you in it full time or whether you in it part time, the streets don't love nobody, man. So if you're in it, period, you know what I mean. My advice to you is to you know get out, man. Get out of it, because it's dangerous, man. It ain't worth it, man. There's too much legal money out here. There's too many ways to make money in America. You understand what I'm saying? The land of the free, the land of opportunity. There's too many legal ways to make money to have to result to what I mean, getting your hands dirty. I mean, we all was young, we all did things that we're now proud of. You understand what I'm saying? But after you learn from your mistakes, man, you learn from, you know, situations that went wrong. You understand what I'm saying? You move on, man. You find different ways to navigate, different ways to survive, different ways to support yourself, support your family, man. That won't put your life in harm's way. That won't put your freedom in jeopardy. You understand what I'm saying? And you just got to move accordingly, man. But it's a sad situation, man. You know what I mean? That man got kids. That man got loved ones. You know what I mean? People who love him. You know what I mean? And now he's gone. And now they're left to mourn him. I'm sure we all had people who we lost. That was close to us. I know I have. A lot of people. I can't even count on my hands and my toes how many people that I have spent time with, a lot of time with, that was lost to violence, to the streets, man. The streets don't love nobody, man. And I mean, you gotta find a way out, man. You gotta find other things to do, man. You gotta find other ways to make a living. You understand what I'm saying? I know I got off topic just a little bit, man, but I just had to speak on that for a second, man. You understand? My man Rod Ramon says facts. Most rappers get killed in their hometown. I know, fam, and it's a shame. You understand what I'm saying? It's a shame, man. And it be by somebody they know, somebody that they felt comfortable around, somebody that they let into their circle. You understand what I'm saying? And it's an eye opener, man. It's an eye opener to everybody out there living that life, man. That you hear people say you can't trust no one. You think it as a cliche. You think it as some movie type shit. But nah, when you live in that lifestyle, you really cannot trust no one. Warren Empire Power says, "You've seen Canelo hit that bag. Who do you think will win?" Hey, now that's another good fight right there, man. I think mm, I think Canelo's gonna win that fight. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's gonna win that fight, but it's a real close fight. You understand what I'm saying? It's like now I want to say 50-50, man. I give Canelo just a slight edge, man, because I think that he has the more hunger than Danny Jacobs. That killer instinct that you need to win in a fight like this, I think Canelo has it. I haven't seen it in Danny Jacobs yet. I've seen it in Canelo in that second Triple G fight. He showed me the way he stepped to Triple G and went mano y mano, man against man. Man, I seen, you know what I'm saying? I seen that guy that killer instinct come out in him, man. And if he comes to brings that type of attitude in there with Danny Jacobs, man, I think he'll get out on Danny Jacobs, man. I seen Danny Jacobs, in a fight with Triple G. That was a real close fight. You understand what I'm saying? But in my opinion, Danny Jacobs didn't have that killer instinct. He was fighting to get through the fight and not win the fight. He was just fighting to get through the finish line. You understand? Just to say that I survived with Triple G. If you notice when the final bell rung, Danny Jacobs went over to his corner and collapsed. Like, yes, I did it. Like like a person running a marathon and they get to that ribbon and they just collapse into that ribbon. That's what Danny Jacobs did. You know what I'm saying? Andre Rozier had to tell him to get up, son, get up. Don't let these people see you do that. Get up, son. You know what I mean? But I don't think he was fighting that fight to win. He was fighting to get through it. Juan says maybe a KO. It's possible. It's possible, man. We seen Danny get KO before. We seen him get dropped a few times. You know what I mean? So we know his chin ain't granite. I've seen Canelo get hurt early in his career, but I've also seen him take thunderous shots from a hard puncher like Triple G, man, and shake it off like it was nothing, man. So Canelo got a chin of granite. You understand what I'm saying? I know Danny Jacobs got power. I know he got a high knockout ratio. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, um, I don't know if he can knock out Canelo. My man Straight Cold says never seen Triple G backed up like that, and that's what I'm saying, man. I didn't think that he would step to him like that, but he did. You understand what I'm saying? He came at him full force, mano y mano. But Abel Sanchez did that, man. Abel Sanchez did that shit, man. They making all them commercials, with the steak and saying the boy was on steroids, telling them don't run, and had everybody buying into it. You know what I mean? He run. Make sure you don't disappoint your fans. So he kept saying it. Don't disappoint your fans. Don't run. You know what I mean? And Canelo came in there and said, "Okay, don't run. All right, I ain't running nowhere." And he stepped straight to Triple G's chest, man. And Triple G didn't plan for that type of fight. You understand what I'm saying? Although I do think the fight was real close, that could have went either way, but Triple G did not plan for that type of fight, and therefore he didn't make the adjustments he needed to win that fight. You understand what I'm saying? Rod Ramon says, "What did you think about Ryan Garcia fight?" Ryan Garcia, I think being with Eddie Reynoso and down there with Canelo, I think he has improved. What is this? His second fight with them? I think that he has improved tremendously. I think he can punch. I think that he's fast. I think that he throws good solid combinations. You know what I mean? I think his defense has gotten better, but the what I would work on if I was Ryan Garcia or Eddie Reynoso in that camp is his defense. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been stepping straight back as much as he used to, but he still steps straight back with his chin in the air. I think he's too upright a lot of times. You understand what I'm saying? I think he needs to, crouch down just a little bit. You know what I mean? Try to hide his chin just a little bit and tighten up his defense. You understand what I'm saying? But I think he can do it, man. I think that he has a bright upside too. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how bright, but I think he can win a world title. You understand what I'm saying? Especially in his weight division that, where, the champions in his weight division aren't really experienced themselves. You know what I mean? The champions in his division, they aren't too experienced themselves. So do I think he can win the championship sometime next year? Yes. But I think he's at least 2-3 fights away from being ready for a title shot. But I think, another couple fights with the Reynosos, tightening up his defense, man. I think that Ryan Garcia, he can compete with these guys. You know what I mean? Lee Ruck says, when do you think we will see Charlo Andrade? What do you think of the outcome? Um, I want to see that fight now, man. You know what I'm saying? It's long overdue. You know what I mean? I want to see it now. You know what I mean? He's fighting this guy, Brandon Adams, who won a contender. And no disrespect to him, man, but I think that Charlo will dust him off, you know what I'm saying, early. I think it won't go past 5 rounds. You understand what I'm saying? And then, I think that fight should be made, man. I've been there and I've heard Eddie Hearn say directly out of his mouth that he's willing to make that fight. You know what I mean? But it has to be on the zone. And my thing is, I made the video yesterday, is that I don't understand why Charlo isn't entertaining going over to the zone and fighting one of these champions. If that's his goal to be champion, all the champions are at the zone. So, why not at least entertain their offers and see what's going on? And, in that fight, I think it'll be a real good fight. But it's a fight that I think Charlo wins. I think that Andrade's a very good boxer, man, but I've seen some holes in his game. You know what I mean? I like when he throws some of his punches, sometimes when he miss, he's left off balance. You understand what I'm saying? And he's been able to get away with it up until this point because he hasn't been in there with a very top-notch guy, an elite guy. But I feel a guy like a Charlo or Triple G or Canelo will be able to take advantage of that, man. You throwing them wild punches and you become off balance, man. And you can get caught with a counter punch that could put your lights out, man. But I think it would be a real good matchup. It's not an easy fight for Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be a chess match back and forth, man. But I do think in the later rounds that, Charlo would get the best of him, man. But that's not guaranteed, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how I see it right now. You understand what I'm saying? Lee Ruck says, have you ever seen any boxer in history as awkward as Andrade, man? I mean, yeah, he do got a very, very awkward style, man. I mean, it's kind of, it's crazy to look at sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, the way he throws his punches, man, and then he almost like falls over if he misses sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and it looks like he gets gassed in the later rounds. You know what I mean? Gets a little bit defensively irresponsible. You know what I mean? And I think an elite fighter, a top level fighter, will be able to take advantage of that. You understand what I'm saying? Um, well, we'll see. My man Juan Empire Power says Tevin Farmer versus Ryan Garcia. What do you think? I think it would be a very interesting fight. Um, because of Ryan Garcia's length. He's long, man. He's long and he got a good jab. You understand what I'm saying? And Tevin, Tevin is a little dude. His reach ain't all that. You understand what I'm saying? He got real good defense. He got a lot of heart. But I think Garcia's jab will give him problems early on. But I do think Tevin has a little bit more experience than Ryan Garcia, and I think that he'll be able to outpoint Ryan Garcia as the fight goes on, man. But I see it as a very good fight, a very competitive fight for a while, and then I see Farmer taking over. You understand what I'm saying? I see Farmer taking over. You know what I mean? But that's a good fight. That's one I ain't think of, man. I see Tevin Farmer and JoJo Diaz. They've been going back and forth over Twitter. I don't know if y'all seen that. Um, first Farmer act like he wanted to fight. He said, "Okay, yeah, send me the contract. We'll get busy." You understand what I'm saying? And you know, um, Jojo Diaz, I forget the guy from Golden Boy. You know what I mean? I think they took steps to make the fight happen. And then Farmer started talking about calling him a bum, start bringing up money and calling him broke, and all these things right there, man. And just really saying to the public that what, I changed my mind. I don't want that fight right now. You understand what I'm saying? Um, But Farmer, I will give Farmer credit, man. He's ready to go. He's trained to go. He got his boots laced up, and he's ready to get out there and go to war and ready for combat. You know what I mean? He's been very active since he won that title. You know what I mean? He's been very active, and he's been uh, calling out Tank Davis, man. He's been calling out Tank Davis. Me personally, first let me say this. I like Tevin Farmer. He's from Philly. I'm from Pittsburgh. With me it's PA all day. You understand what I'm saying? But having said that, I think, he shouldn't. I think he should leave Tank alone, man. I think Tank would be too powerful and too strong for him. You understand what I'm saying? Warren says you saw him in Philly. Yeah, man. I was press row. I got to see him up close and personal, man. I got some footage. Understand what I'm saying? He was in a rush to get out of there. You know what I mean? He was in a real rush to get out of there. So I didn't get, the one-on-ones with him. But I got him in the post fight conference. I got that posted on the channel. You can go check that out, man. Him and Jonah Carroll. It was a good fight, man. Carroll did more than I thought he would, man. He came to fight. He showed a lot of heart in that fight, man. I want to see him again. You know what I mean? In his previous fights, I seen him get tired. I seen him run out of gas late in the fight. You understand what I'm saying? Which he kind of did in the former fight, but still he kept on fighting hard. You understand what I'm saying? He kept on fighting hard, and I want to see him again. You understand what I'm saying? I want to see him again, man. But yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I appreciate y'all being the first, my man Juan, my man Lee Rux, my man Donald Minifield. I appreciate y'all being the first three guys on the channel to send those super chats, man. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that, man. And I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate the rest of y'all for coming in here, man. I appreciate y'all comments. And I appreciate the support, man. You know, understand what I'm saying? I hope y'all keep coming back, man. I'm gonna keep trying to, be creative with how I deliver my videos to y'all, man. And I'm gonna keep this thing rolling, man. I'm gonna keep on working. You understand what I'm saying? Um, until next time, man. In the meantime and in between time, I want y'all to stay blessed, man, and keep on supporting this thing that we love called boxing. Peace. I'll back.